So, hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel named VTU Academy. So, in this channel, we have already created the videos for your seniors, that is for 4th SEM, 5th SEM, 6th SEM, and also we are planning to do the videos for 7th SEM also. So, these videos are already available, but in the 3rd SEM, we have covered only two subjects, that is max and network analysis. Okay, so there are some other subjects in the 3rd sem which needed to cover, which I didn't cover in when I previously. So those two subjects are, one subject is this one, that is digital system design using Verilog DSDV. It is a 4 credit subject. Subject code is BEC 302, and in this subject 3 credits is for theory, and we have one internal laboratory where that 1 credit goes for that laboratory, where you are going to see some of the experiments. Okay, all the software code related Verilog programming in that. And in the theory part we have that 5 modules. Also we have one more subject, that is electronic principles and circuits, EPC. That is also a very important subject. In that also we are going to cover all the 5 modules, all the detailed videos. Already for network analysis as well as mathematics for EC engineers for in 3rd sem, we have already covered the videos, and your seniors have shown us great response for that, and it had benefited them a lot. It has helped them a lot. So with that intention, I'm going to uh, do some better content in the future upcoming for the future upcoming students. And with that initiation, I've started this video, that is for videos related to digital system design using Verilog as well as EPC. In the few upcoming days, I'm going to be uploading the videos to for all the 3rd sem students. Okay, so those who are new to this channel, please subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for the updates, because this channel is the only channel in YouTube where all the VTU stuffs with respect to the latest VTU syllabus, everything is provided with with detailed explanation and important questions. All the important stuffs are covered in this channel. Okay, so stay tuned guys. So this was the thing I wanted to tell you guys. So from this video onwards, we are going to see all the 5 modules in detail of this subject, that is digital system design using Verilog, where in this subject the first 3 modules are completely based on theory, and we are going to brush up with some of the concepts which we have already, which you people have already covered in your PUCs as well as first year. Some of the concepts are repeated, some concepts are new to you guys, yet very interesting, you would be getting to know about it. And the last 2 modules, that is module 4 and 5, are completely based on the Verilog programming part. Okay, where we are going to see how to write the Verilog codes, different kinds of operators, everything we are going to see in those 2 modules. Very easy, very easy modules guys. All 5 modules are very easy. I'm going to make you understand it very easily. Okay, so let us start with the first module, that is module 1. So the name of the module is Principles of Combinational Logic. So this notes, I'm going to pin it in the description. So go and download it and access it. Okay. So in this first module, based on the latest video syllabus, we have these many concepts to study. Starting with the definition of combinational logic circuit, which we are going to cover in this video only. Okay. About in detail, I'm going to tell you about the combinational logic circuit. Then canonical form representations, that is simply the Boolean expression and sum to product and product to some conversion, everything we are going to see in this canonical form terms. Then a generation of switching equation, that is SOP and POS form again. Then Karnoff maps, that is K map. So K mapping, I guess those who are electronic students, I guess they have covered it in the second PU. Then we have one more important new concept to you guys, that is Quinn-McCloskey algorithm or Quinn-McCloskey minimization technique. Okay, so this takes a lot of time, guys. The problems based on this take a lot of time, but don't worry, guys. I'm going to be solving 2 to 3 problems in separate videos, and each and every steps I'm going to explain you in this topic. Okay, so yeah, let us start now. I know it has been a bit lengthy, but this the introduction was necessary, so that's why I thought to give it. So the first topic is combinational logic. So what do you mean by combinational logic circuits? So before knowing the combinational logic circuits, you should be knowing that generally the logic circuits are divided into 2 categories. One is combinational logic circuits as well as sequential logic circuits. So, okay, so this is not new to you guys. These two terms you have already heard in your PUCs as well as in the first year basic electronics. I guess these things are covered. So let us try to brush up with the two concepts. What do you mean by combinational logic circuits? So in general, combinational logic circuit means that the output is dependent on the present input. Okay, whatever input you provide, output would be based on the input provided only. Okay, some operations will be taking place in the input side, and it is given to the combinational logic circuit, and the output is provided. But in case of sequential logic circuits, it's not like that. Output is dependent on the present as well as the previous state inputs. Okay, so this is one difference you need to be knowing between combinational as well as sequential logic circuits. Okay, so let us see what is written here now. A combinational logic circuit contains logic gates, that is this block here is completely made up of logic gates. So you know what do you mean by logic gates, right? So some of the important examples of logic gates are AND gate, OR gate, NAND gate, NOR gate, XOR gate, XNOR gate, etc. Okay, so these are the set of logic gates which you need to be knowing, and it is constructed using these logic gates. And this full combination of logic gates is combined together in a block, and that block is called as the combinational logic circuit, but does not contain storage elements. So what do you mean by storage elements? In the later part we are going to see. Then a sequential logic circuit contains storage elements in addition to logic gates. Okay, so this is one more difference between combinational and sequential, that is combinational circuits contains only logic gates but does not contain storage elements, whereas sequential logic circuits contain both logic gates as well as the storage elements. Okay, when logic gates are connected together to give a specified output for certain combination of input variables with no storage involved, the resulting network is known as combinational circuit. So this is the simple definition of combinational circuit. That is, so when logic gates are connected together to give a specified output for a certain set of combination of input, that is the, if we have in this example they have given two inputs and two outputs are provided. So for the certain set of input, certain set of output we are getting. So that is a simple combinational logic circuit. In combinational logic circuit, the output level is at all time dependent on the combination of input level. Okay, output is dependent on the combination of input as suggested in this block diagram. Okay, the combinational logic circuit with memory elements is called as a sequential logic circuit. It consists of combinational logic circuit to which memory elements are connected to form a feedback path. Okay, so you see here, this is the simple block diagram of a sequential logic circuit. Okay, so as I've told you, sequential logic circuit where outputs are dependent on the present as well as the previous state inputs. So this block diagram suggests that only, that is you have one combinational circuit block and we have one memory element block, and how it is dependent is based on the arrows they have provided. Okay, so these are the external inputs provided to the combinational block and outputs of the combinational circuit, and that is given to the memory elements. Some operation is taking place and that is fed back again as the input, and like that by the combination of memory as well as combinational block we get the outputs for the sequential logic circuit. Okay, so what do you mean by memory elements? The memory elements are devices capable of storing the binary information within them. Okay, so if for example, if you have a certain set of inputs, and if we have one carry input that is either 0 or 1, those are called as binary elements. So it is the separate storage place where those extra inputs or additional inputs are stored in that memory elements. Okay, that is binary information, either 0 or 1. So this is the block diagram, guys, note it down. So what does this block diagram suggest? Let us see here. So by the block diagram, it can be said that the outputs of a sequential logic circuit are dependent not only on the external input but also on the present state of the memory element. That is, you see here, the output of the sequential logic circuit is not only dependent on the current input, also the previous state input which is given through the combinational circuit. Okay, so this is the arrow mark which indicates that only. Okay, the next state of the memory elements is also dependent on the external input and the present state. Okay, so the next state, that is the, if we have one more memory element block, that also it is dependent on the previous block. Okay, so that if we have a series of memory element blocks here, and so in the same way that arrow is again fed back to the previous memory element block. Okay, applications logic gates find wide applications in calculators and computers. So these are some of the applications where the sequential circuits are used. Simply, you could be saying that sequential circuits are, it reduces the complexity and it is mainly used to build the complex circuits, such as some complex circuits are used in calculators as well as computers, because they carry a lot of a wide range of algorithms, so that's why it is used there. Digital measuring techniques, digital processing of communication, musical instruments, games, and domestic appliances, etc., are some other examples. Okay, for decision making in automatic control of machines and various industrial processes, and for building more complex devices such as binary counters, etc. Okay, so this is one logical example for a sequential logic circuit which they are given, that is binary counters. Okay, so these counters and all we are going to see in the upcoming module, that is module 3. So yeah, so that's all for this video, guys. I had discussed with you the first topic on the module 1, that is based on the combinational logic circuit. In detail, I've told you what do you mean by combinational circuit, along with the block diagram, as well as some explanation with respect with comparing it with the sequential circuit. Okay, so this topic is very important, guys. This is a fixed question in the, as well as very fixed question in the final exam point of view. Also, you could be expecting this for your upcoming internal test also. Okay, so this is very important, guys. So from this video we are getting started, and we are going to cover a lot of concepts in the upcoming videos. Okay, so stay tuned, like, share, subscribe to our channel, keep supporting us, guys. Thank you.